welcome you all here today. Thanks for your presentation. And just to say, I'm really sorry that you've had such a negative and distressing experience of the Irish Health Service. And I mean, that raises huge questions, obviously, for the HSE, for the Department of Health, and it's our job then to take those issues up, as we will do later on with the authorities and beyond that. It strikes me that there's two aspects of this. The first is the fact that it would seem that the Irish Health Service isn't paying adequate attention to this issue. I mean, basic things like lack of data, lack of any meaningful statistics, even that issue that you mentioned, Mary, about the errors in the coding. So is there anybody at a senior level within the HSE who's actually dealing with this issue? Is there a named person whose responsibility?
National Women's Infancy Health Programme seems to be running the whole show, but as you were saying, the overseeing of it, the implementation plan for the HSE is all the boxes are ticked. Do you know, it's just there's nobody to oversee the implementation.
But sorry, is it the view of both groups that if the implementation plan, excuse me, was actually implemented, that would address most of the issues? Do you think the plan is okay, or are there problems with the plan?
No.
You don't think the plan is okay, is that right?
No.
Okay. Sorry, I just got that impression from what you were saying there. So there is no named person, senior person, who's kind of dealing with you and who has an overview of this entire issue.
I tried to contact. I've been in contact with the Minister. I've been writing to him through my journey since 2020. I wrote to the Medical Council. I've spoken to the person who's heading the patient pathway, and I asked for statistics. My background is healthcare. I was a midwife in the UK, and our evidence-based practice is fundamental. And I said, look, we have been injured. I need to know who is doing the surgeries, what is their experience, what are the outcome of the women that they have operated on. And she would give me no information.
Okay,
now, that's
that's a fairly basic problem then,
yeah.
if there isn't a person who has that overview and the handle of the situation, who would pursue that. The other aspect of it would seem to be that there is clinical kind of disagreement about the right approach. Now, I don't know whether that is kind of a genuine kind of clinical difference of opinion, or is it the fact that it's obviously cheaper to take the approach of partial removal and not cover the treatment abroad scheme and, the costs involved, which are substantial in travelling to St. Louis. So is there any kind of general acceptance of the best kind of treatment, on a WHO level or on a European level? Is the clinical thinking that the best approach is full removal?
The British Society of Gynecology have recently updated all their information leaflets and now have proper leaflets where the different stages of removal are illustrated and the risks. There is a view that partial removal is not the way forward. The Scottish Parliament heard evidence from from a lead surgeon. And I would encourage the committee to maybe arrange a video conference with the surgeon that can tell you exactly what's going on.
Okay.
The problem is, as patients, we are asking for choice. But if we have a body of surgeons who never went to the bother of learning these skills over the years, the women are going into appointments, and the appointments go something like this. I'd like my mesh removed. Oh, no, you don't. You don't really want your mesh removed. Yeah, there's full removal. No, that's a really dangerous operation. Well, an operation is always dangerous if the community doesn't have the skills. So the skill set's not there. And the skill set wasn't there in the UK, it wasn't there in Australia, it wasn't there in Canada, it wasn't there around the world. We're not unique in that thing. But you can't gain that special skill set by doing a few operations.
Okay, fine. And just, I've only a couple of seconds left. Just on that thing about the skill set, that's one thing, and presumably could be addressed, you know, if there was proper funding put into training. Though I note that NHS Scotland are contracting with St Louis rather than training their own people. So, I mean, we'll raise that afterwards. Just a couple of quick questions. I don't know if you're in a position to provide the answer. You said about the discrepancy between public and private patients. Are private patients, do you know, being covered by their insurance companies to travel abroad?
Yes.
For full removal? Yes. Do you know if many of those have taken place?
I know several women on our group. A lot of the women, they're on the group and they do their thing, and they're private and they don't tell.
Sure,
but I do have
that.
examples of that where private health insurance is paid for some of their treatment.
They're not covered, you're saying? Sorry. Okay, so it depends on the company.
I can forward you that information.
I'd appreciate that, thanks.
Yeah.
And the other question is, have any full removals taken place in this country?
Not that we are aware of.
Okay, thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks.